other younger ones were born in Lagos. My parents were not very rich. As young as I was then, my mother would make puff puff and I would go to sell. At that very young age, I would go to. At the time, they used to define week to say the women education ends in the kitchen. But we changed that. We said no, the women's education does not end in the kitchen, because we have now seen that women can excel even where men have not been able to excel. It's most important that women should find a way to earn something for themselves. There's a lady I buy akara from in Abuja. She has a master's.
Wow.
Yes. She has a master's, and every year she celebrates that her akara business. The last time she gave me a bottle of wine.
Wow.
She has masters. And then there was a young man who came there. One day I went to buy akara from her. A young man came there and was trying to talk there. He said, "We were classmates. I did this. We were classmates. We did the same masters. Is it because you are from certain part of the country and I'm from other part of the country? I'm not able to get job. That's why you come to talk to me here. Were you better than me in class?"
Wow.
She at Jabi in Abuja, she sells akara, but she has a master's, and she's doing very well. She's doing very well. When you say, okay, you need to go get a place now that you say no, that this place, and then there are people who are coming there to compete with her. Then the way she treats you will definitely be different from the way the person who didn't go to school. The way she packages her thing, I'm telling you, people go there every morning to go and have breakfast.
Wow.
I'm telling you, but she has masters. I'm telling you. So it's important that we do most of these things that we do in life actually is packaging. And if you don't understand, you will not be able to package yourself. Information is key. Women are good communicators, but you need to have that right information that will help you to communicate and change your life first before you change any other person. So if you don't take care of yourself as a woman, there's a story I read the other day. The woman, she had started work, but because she had to care for her family, she had to drop off the job and came home. They said, without her around, the husband cannot do anything, the mother-in-law, the children, so she had to stay home 24/7. The woman died. The woman died. And in 2 weeks, when her friends went back to the home to find out about her, the home was going on without her. The family was doing very well. In fact, they had now employed the caregivers to take care of the children. The man has gone on his business and the home was going on. So most times, we as women, we think that if we are not there, things will go wrong. If you are not there, life continues. But you need to take care of yourself. My people say, so it is that you have done for yourself. And I keep saying you cannot give what you don't have. If you don't take care of yourself, you don't have the ability to take care of other people. So you need to take care of yourself, stay alive, be strong, so that you are able to achieve those dreams. But if you leave your life aside and begin to live the life of other people, by the time the day the person falls down and dies,
it's finished.
A week, 2 weeks, life continues. People will grieve, okay, you're no longer there. Maybe when there's something to be done, or say, if this woman were here now, she would have done it. That's what they will say, because somebody else will do it. They will find a way to do it. So find a way to be that woman. Your program is the woman in you. The woman in you, bring it out, nurture it, and make it useful for you, so that it can be useful to your family and be useful to society.
Beautiful. That's nice. Yes. And now we're going to look at our younger girls, our younger women, our beautiful young daughters on the streets. We have a lot of them that just, should we say it's because they don't believe in themselves that they stand on the streets? I don't know. But some will tell you, a few will be able to say they don't have helpers. They don't have anybody to help them pay school fees. One, that maybe they don't go to school. Some will go to school, but they do this business later to help themselves. What can you, as someone who's been doing this advocacy work for a long time, what will be your take concerning our daughters, our young beautiful girls on the streets?
Okay, so the excuse that we don't have somebody to help us, and then the next thing to do is to stand on the street. Like some of them will say, use what you have to get what you want. So they go use their body to be able to get what they want. Is the lamest excuse I've ever heard. There's only a lazy person. If you have not sat down to identify the potentials that you have, and then do something about it, and you think that the easiest way to just go and get easy cash, usually at times these monies that they make, they don't invest them, they don't use it. Because let's say a student who is in school and their parents are not able to meet up the resources, you can actually do other things. Like I told you, I had to sell shirts. I had to sell stuffings to people to be able to do that. There are businesses you can start with as little as 5,000 naira. Now there are jewelries you can go to Onitsha, for instance, and buy with 5,000 naira. You can get like 10 pairs or 5 pairs of jewelries, and you come to sell. Them. It helps you to start off something. When you have that mindset of that I can only use my body to get what I want, most times people don't get over it, and it's quite unfortunate. And you know, the thing is that it's not just amongst women now. If you look at the rates of ritual killing that we have, free money, Yahoo boys and girls, everybody wants to make it without going through the hurdle of working, you know, and easy money comes and easy money goes away. So people are just like, oh, even if it is 2 days, 3 days, that's because we have lost values. We have lost the sense of values we have as Africans, and then because people now celebrate riches. Irrespective of how you got rich, people celebrate riches. If you get into politics, your first principle or what you want to achieve is to ensure that when you are coming out, you have a big house, you have a big car, and people are hailing you. You can go into politics and behave like the Ambrose Alis of this world, and people will say you have failed. The kind of pressure you will even get from your peers, the kind of pressure you will get from your family members, the kind of pressure you will get from your village people and your friends will make you want to do things that you are not even expected to do. So my advice to young girls is that, one, it is more risky than it's not as lucrative as they think about it. There are young girls who have lost their lives. The other day I was listening to a young girl who, luckily for her, she came back from Libya, and said on their way going, a lot of people died, and they just threw them into the desert. They threw them away in the desert. So their families will always grieve. There's a young woman that was there. She got married. It was her husband that sold her into sex slavery in Libya. So we need to sit down from the beginning and make our priorities right. What do I want out of this life? What are my priorities? Is it about making money? You see a young girl. At times, when I see some young girls, the kind of hair that they put in, even me, afraid cannot let me buy such hairs. But because they want to live that kind of life. And social media is not really helping. Social media is not helping because there's a lot of fake life on social media. Somebody can be walking along the street and see a beautiful car parked there. The person will pose on the car and say, small girl, big God, though. Thank God for what God has done for me. And the person doesn't even have a bicycle. Then another person who is reading that will say, hey, God, when? God, when? And so the opportunity that they have is, okay, let's go and sell our bodies. And that's not the best way to go about it. I just advise that will be patient. Just be patient and be contentment is the most important thing. But at times when people see me, you think I'm so rich. I am not. We can't, as I'm sitting down here and I say, oh, there's something that has happened, 1 million naira, let me just go and bring it and give to you. But I have a lot of other things that are of value to me. And because I'm not able to give you that 1 million naira, now will not push me to go and say, I want to sell my body because I want to make 1 million naira. So what are my values? What are my priorities? What are the things I have set out for myself to do? So contentment is one of them. If whatever you have in your house, you should be able to eat it. It starts again from when maybe as a student, you're in school, you want to go out. You have your clothes, but you are always eyeing your neighbor's clothes. Please give me this dress to wear. Please give me that shoe to wear. because you are not contented. That is how it starts. Before you know it, they will begin to associate in such a way that they need to keep up that kind of lifestyle. It's a fake lifestyle. Parents also have to work around that. Family members also have to work around that so that we can bring some sanity into our society.
That's very true. Okay, still talking about women issues. It's the woman in you, so we keep trying to bring out the best in our women. The issue of women not supporting women, what do you think is the reason? Because even as we are talking now, break the barriers, we are talking now elections, they say women should get into politics, women should 35% affirmative action for women, all of that. It boils down to we women needing to support ourselves, but it's very, very rare. Women don't like supporting fellow women. What do you think is the reason?
The narrative about women not supporting women also helps to push the fact that, because when people hear it, there's a way that spoken words affect people's behavior. It helps to push that narrative further, because you don't see women supporting women. But I can tell you that it's changing. It's changing now. Even though we may not see it at the level that we want to see it, to have more women support women. We talk about most times we say that women don't support because women come out and they don't vote for women. Most political parties, especially the very prominent ones that we know, hardly field women as their candidates. Okay, so the whole thing is for us to encourage more women to take up leadership positions, because even though women don't support women as it is, men also don't support men, and that's why you see them fight themselves, but they don't make any noise about it. So what I want to suggest is that growing up, actually, this whole narrative can change if we begin to change the orientation of our girl child from the very beginning. A lot of people, women, when you talk, to say, I have more male friends than female friends.
Yeah,
so I don't have issues with them. They say there's jealousy amongst women. These are things that come naturally to women. But again, men also have that, but they don't highlight it as much as we highlight it. I want to see a situation whereby every woman who comes out to stand for an election. So it's important that we train our girl child to support her fellow girl and support all issues that promotes women's participation, and that way we can begin to now change the orientation and also get the men to support women more on all of these issues.
Okay, let's look at women. Who are the women that actually inspired you in this life in both small and large ways?
My mother. I told you the story how she brought us up. She was a very industrious woman. She was very strong and she was well respected in her family. Not just that she was industrious, but she would speak truth to power. I think I got some of those traits from her.
Mm-hmm.
She will speak truth to power. If you are the one feeding her and she tells you the truth, tomorrow don't feed her, she doesn't care. So her family members respected her for that. Even in my family, my father's family, they also respected her for that, because she will say it as it is, irrespective of whose ox is God, And then also I had my former principal, Mrs. Florence Asemota, may God bless her soul, and all of that. She actually inspired me and pushed me into what I say I'm doing activism today. She supported me. She made sure that I grew out of my shyness, and supported me. And there were a lot of other women that I look at their life stories, and I can say I may not have been very close to them, but because of their life stories, this woman had just died, Madeleine Albright. She was one of those women at international level when she was, Secretary of State or so. She was, I think, the defense or something. She was holding that position, and I saw her, and I felt that this, if a woman could get up to that level, there's nothing that stops you from holding, because she had a very powerful position around there. And then most recently, also looking at the lives of people like Okonjo-Iweala, Oby Ezekwesili, I'm really encouraged to say that these women are people who have helped, who have put their lives on the line, and setting the example, raising the bar at every point in time to ensure that women look at them, especially Oby Ezekwesili lately. She has seen it all, being a minister, ran for presidency, even though she stepped down, but she's doing a lot to support women. There's nothing about women that you go to meet her that she will not support. So these are women that I have studied their lives, and I have seen that they have added value to my perspective to life, and so many other things. There are so many other women that I have come across in the course of my work, because of their resilience, because of the way they are committed to their work. It gives me a lot of encouragement and inspiration to see that there are women there. Even some of them may not have been educated, but what they do in their communities, they are well recognized in their communities. Gives me that push to say, well, if I have achieved this and I have seen myself in this position, if this person could have done it,
you too can do it. Exactly. That's true. That's the spirit and that's the phrase. So let's continue to encourage our girl child. Let's help the girl child. Let's train the girl child. Let's encourage the girl child to believe in herself, so she can pursue her dreams and get to become that which she wants to be in life. Because like I often say, yesterday's girls are today's women, and today's girls will be tomorrow's women. So let's train the girl child. You did say your mom is one of those women that inspired you in life. What is that most important lesson you learned from your mom?
My mom had a lot of parables that she would give us. There's one that she says that there's so many, but the one that comes to me right now, it says onye so mo ba oka kwe wa malonye when. What it means is that when you go planning or planting, with the children of the rich or the children from royal blood, you go planting maize with them. When it gets to the time of harvest, they will know who the real owners are, because those rich people may outsmart you because you don't have somebody who will come to speak for you. Even though you have labored with them, when it comes to harvesting, they will not recognize you. So that taught me to sew my cloth according to my size. Know where the boundaries are, know who am I associating with, and what is the level of that association, so that I don't go having too much expectation, and so when they disappoint you, you fall back. Once you are able to understand these things in life, you'll be able to excel, because one, you don't have too much expectation. You know what you are doing. You are taking your steps one step at a time. You definitely cannot go wrong.
No, that's true, because of course they say that birds of the same feather
flock together. Exactly.
Okay, let's get to know the challenges you've been through in life, and how did you surmount them all? Because having to rise up to becoming the CEO of Koimala Foundation, CEO, Transparency, Center for Transparency, you didn't just come up like that. We'd like to know the challenges you've been through. How did you surmount them all?
Okay, one of the greatest challenge, when I say it, a lot of people don't, well, some people can align, with what, but one of the greatest challenges I had as a growing up child was my weight. So I was bullied a lot, even though I was big. I was bullied a lot. I was mocked. So I go to a meeting and I have my peers there in the meeting, and I become the laughing stock because of my weight. It really depressed me. It's almost wanted to make me not associate with people until I was able to overcome that. Now, that's for me is the greatest lesson, because it was in my formative years. Yes. If it was not properly handled, I don't know what I would have turned out to be. And at times when we poke those kind of jokes, we don't know how it affects people. It affects them. It affects them a lot. And then when my father died, I relied on my father to support me, even though I started those small businesses. But when he died, I was so shaken. I was shaken up to the extent that for 1 year I didn't step into church. And so at that point in time, it could be another time that I would have also derailed and gone back, because when my father died, I was praying and fasting, and then suddenly news came that he had died. I felt so disappointed. But you see, my father's death also came in such a way that it gave me the opportunity to take up a leadership position within my family to ensure that, and some of the lessons I learned, especially interfacing with some of my extended family members who wanted to come take over the business, who were doing other things, helped me, and today I can be in a position to advise people on what to do. So those have been very significantly those kind of challenges I've had. And I told us about when I was supposed to get a job in Chevron. That comes to me all the time. I work in a sector, like for instance, the civil society sector I work is extractive sector. You hardly have females there, and so you have a plethora of men there because they feel that every woman is for the taking. And so if you are not bright enough, they feel that the only way they can help you is to sleep with you and do that. And so when they're not able to get you, they put obstacles on the way for you. But the way I have been able to overcome that is that I have been good at what I do. So when you are good at what you're doing, you build your capacity, you read, you understand it, you are an expert in what you do. When they see you, they respect you. They no longer look at you as, oh, this is a woman, she doesn't have anything to offer. But when push comes to shove, and they know that this thing, the only person who can deliver this thing is this person, they come looking for you and they respect you.
You're really into there's a Center for Transparency Advocacy. That's one of where your chief executive, Koyeni Malam Foundation. We're going to talk about that. Tell us a bit about your foundation. Tell us a bit about transparency advocacy.
Okay, I founded the Koyeni Imala Foundation, and I said earlier that the reason I founded that was to also let people know that you cannot give what you don't have. That's literally the meaning of Koyeni Imala. But beyond that, I had a great grandparent, a woman who her name was Koyeni, and she made a lot of impact in my family. My middle name is Osai. People from my place, usually it's a masculine name. But if you are giving that name as a child, as a girl child, you're giving that name because of something they have foreseen that maybe it's coming as a teacher. And I'm proud to have that name and to be associated with that. So because of the work we had done, especially from women in Nigeria, from the school, I thought that we should have a platform to address the issues for women and young girls and community youth, but also to use that opportunity to project and promote my culture. And that's why a lot of times I go out and people say, Koyeni Imala Foundation, it gives me an opportunity to talk of my people, the Okwani people. So that's for Koyeni Imala Foundation. By the time I finished my tenure on the EITI International Board, where I served for 6 years representing Anglophone African countries, there was a need for me to be the CEO of the Center for Transparency Advocacy, pushing for service delivery, and then also pushing for issues around promotion of rights and elections. So what we do in the Center for Transparency Advocacy is that we advocate for transparency in all the value chain in these different sectors, especially in the service delivery that government agencies render to citizens. And in the course of this work, we found out that even citizens don't understand what services that government agencies are supposed to deliver. That's where you have the confusion between what the legislator should do and what the executive should do. When people want to engage the legislator, they give them a list of things that they should provide. The same way they go to the executive, they are not able to understand that the legislator should render service by promoting laws or promulgating laws that will bring about the welfare that the executive will bring. So you don't have citizens giving awards to legislators who have been in the house and have never made any comment, never supported one bill, never even put a resolution on the floor, but is buying keke napep for the people, and so they feel that that legislator has performed. But if you look at the indicators for performance, that legislator has not performed anything. So so what we try to do is bring all of these issues to the fore, get the people to understand that these are the services that government agencies should be rendering, and if you hold them accountable for those services that they are rendering, it will be something that will help our country move forward. And then lately I started doing a lot of work around peace and conflict, and that's why I'm doing a postgraduate in peace and conflict.
So that's beautiful. Thank you so much. As transparent as transparency advocacy is, do we have a hope that a woman can emerge one day as president or vice president of Nigeria?
Hopefully, if by the time we push for the implementation of the affirmative action, one problem we have as Nigerians is that we are too laid back. We have laws, and once they are not implemented, if you say let's take it to court, if the person is an open, the person that is there, we tell you no, it is our turn, no, let us not go there. You begin to talk to people, let him or her finish what they are doing. But you forget that if you are able to set off a foundation for the right thing to be done, what other people need to do is just build on top of it. So now we have a law that says there must be 35% affirmative action. We may not be able to get the presidency right now because there's so much money politics in Nigeria, and I don't think there's any woman, except maybe they get the support of the political party to be there before we can get there. But we may not get it in 2023, but soon I hope that we'll get it, even if it's a vice president that we can get for the now.
All right, thank you so much, Faith Nwadishi. It's been beautiful, interesting talking with you.
Thank you.
I like to hear always from the woman in you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the good work you are doing.
Thank you.
Congratulations. This is a very good program, and I wish that every woman tunes into this program and listen to it. Just having this conversation with you has also given me some insights and some inspiration into some things I think I should be doing.
Oh, please keep doing it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, and believing in yourself has actually made you excel and go through past all of these challenges. You can see that. But one last challenge I would like to ask. I know you've always come out with this mindset and all of that, but had there been a time ever that you were denying the thing because you are a woman, as smart as you are?
A lot of times, not just because one, I am a woman. A lot of times those things have happened. They feel that, you cannot do this, you cannot take that. I read civil engineering. And when I finished my youth service, I kept going from company to company. I went to Costain. There's this company called Costain, those is construction company. Incidentally, the person who was a director there, I later years came to find out that he's even from my ethnic group. And I went there, I came, young girl, distinction from the Polytechnic. I felt that anywhere I go, I will just be giving, I'm telling you the truth. So I was always going out there with my confidence until it was punctured. The reason why I didn't get that job was because I was a woman. And not just that I'm a woman, I'm a fat woman.
And you had a first class.
I did have the degree, I did have a very good result, but they wouldn't give it to me because I am a woman.
They wanted a male engineer.
Yes, they wanted
not
a male.
Female.
And moreover, at that point, I was actually supposed to be like an intern because I just came out, finished youth service. There's no way they would have given me fresher and all of that. So, but they didn't give me the job. But this is where if they had given me the job, I don't know what
I would have come here.
I wouldn't have been doing some of the things that I'm doing now.
You never felt disappointed though. But
I felt disappointed at that time, but eventually I came to understand that, well, maybe it didn't happen because this is the life I have to live. And I don't think if I had been that engineer, and I tell people, I have traveled across the continents of the world. because of the job. That's one of the satisfaction I see.
Yeah.
I've traveled. The other day I sat down with my colleagues at the office, and I was just reading out country to country to country to country that I've visited, and all of these countries I visited not from a dime, but because of my work. People sponsored me to go to those countries. So we are talking about Latin America, North America, Asia, Australia, everywhere, Europe. I have been at least to 1 or 2 countries in all of those continents. Maybe if I had taken that job, I wouldn't have maybe traveled.
Had that
Exactly.
traveling experiences. I want to thank you so much for coming. Very then.
Thanks for having me.
I know you've been telling me, we've been talking in the course of our discussion, how, through unionism from school and believing in yourself and you went on and on. But we'd like to know specifically the secrets to your success.
God. God is the secret to my success. And my mother, my mother was a praying woman. I wish I can actually pray like her. My mother wants to take her bath, she's praying in the bathroom. I'm telling you, it was that kind. So when my mother was alive, I could travel and see myself in certain situations, and my mind said, my mother is praying for me. And I see myself also. And then I also believe that the name I was given, Faith, plays a lot of roles in what I do. The perseverance that I have comes from my name. You can actually push me to the wall, and I'm trying to scratch the wall to see if I can find a small hole to get out of that place. And I think it is not by accident that my parents named me Faith. And I joke with my friends and I tell them, the Bible says you must have faith as small as a mustard seed, but you see me, I'm big faith, so I can move any mountain.
Well, that's beautiful. So we give it all to God.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming.
So much.
And just before we let you off, the woman in you, we would like to have that advice to women generally out there, but especially our younger generation of girls and ladies.
Okay, so my advice is the same advice I got while growing up. You are a woman, a complete woman. You are not a second-class citizen. Yes, you have been created as a helpmate, but you are created as a helpmate because you are stronger. You have more resilience. You have the capacity to withstand anything. Don't let anybody serve you anything less. You may end up as the wife of a man. You end up as a mother, but you have the strength, the capacity to ensure that you impact your generation and your family. So the word I leave for you here today is look for that passion that you have as a woman and pursue it. And I tell you, the sky will be your stepping stone. Everyone that has called you names one way or the other, called you lazy, by the time you bring out the woman in you, they will come back wanting to associate with you. You are the woman, you are the best, and you can be whatever you want to be in life, if only you set your mind to it.
Thank you so much. Yes, I've been having a sweet time with Faith Nwadeshi, Chief Executive Officer, Toyenum Imala Foundation, and Chief Executive Officer, Center for Transparency Advocacy in Abuja. And I hope that you've been inspired with all that she's talked about today, part of her life story. Yes, it's what we do on The Woman in You to inspire you out there, telling you that you need to believe in yourself. Join us again when we return next week with another interesting guest, interesting episode on The Woman in You. Believe in yourself. Take pride in your womanhood. For my womanhood is my pride. Joy Ochi is my name.
Audio Jungle.